Hi, guys. Oh my goodness, you're so ferocious. Should I just be terrified of you?
Alright, so this Miami Grand Prix weekend is seemingly shaping up to be a weekend of expectations. Everyone's got their expectations coming into this Grand Prix. You got a Mercedes upgrades, quote unquote. I'll judge that when I see it. We've got a Perez saying, we got Perez claiming he's got some spice to him. That's what today's video is going to be about. Perez saying he's got some spice to him. And there's a lot of chatter about, the race. This Miami Grand Prix is going to be super exciting. The racing is going to be really good and stuff. This is what they're saying. That's not what I'm saying. This is what they're saying. Bottas said this. Verstappen said this. I think George Russell too, but I could be mistaken on that. But there's a lot of expectations going into this weekend, so let's just run through a few of them. And of course, there's the Audi, Porsche, VW thing. I should probably make a separate video for that. Now, Perez, Checo, he's got some spice, so I can't believe it. I can't believe that he's claiming that he's got the spice to him. And you know why I can't believe it? Because last season happened. Last season happened. It's not like we can just scratch it from memory. As much as I would love to scratch last season from memory, I cannot scratch last season from memory. Now, is Checo a better racer, in close racing than a Max Verstappen? Yeah, sure. Sure he is. I also got to decide if I'm putting a spicy. Yeah, this one is a spicy kitten. Perez done a spicy kitten thing. So this one will be a spicy kitten thing. But I'll say, just from what I've seen, now of course this is probably going to change in the next few years, probably even just over this season, I suppose. But Perez is a better racer than Verstappen. He's certainly a better racer than Verstappen was last season. Alright, I'm not saying he's a faster driver, I'm just saying he was a better racer, more clean racer. Alright? And Red Bull used that to their advantage last season by sicking Perez on Sir Lewis Hamilton. That was the game plan. Abu Dhabi, see it happen. Brazil, they had their slobber knocker for a few laps over there. There were a few other races. I mean, we can get to them. We can get to them when we get to them. But Checo, he wants us to forget that he was far too willing to play the wingman last season for Verstappen. He wants us to forget that. Now look, I'll forget it. Seriously, Checo. I'll forget it. I'll forget about all that stuff. I'll say you were just acquainting yourself with the team and all of that, not stepping on any toes first year there. Okay, we can run that. But now you really got to bring heat. You see, Checo, it's all good to talk that spice, but now you got to bring the heat. So if in Miami, Red Bull are fastest car over the weekend, and Verstappen is just driving away from Perez, oh no, Checo, don't talk about having spice now, just don't. But sure, I get it. Most likely, any driver would say what Checo has said, right? But it is spicy given the context of Marco saying that they've got a clear number one driver and all of that. It is spicy given this context. But Checo, now is when you're gonna have to prove that you got spice, because it's no good if Verstappen just drives away from you. Yeah, you've run the whole thing of you've run every driver's script basically of, well, I wouldn't move over to let him win a race. If I can win the championship, oh no, I'm moving over to let him win a race. Well, That's if you're even in position to win a championship, Checo. That's if you're even there. Because you have to, that's a season's worth of work to put yourself in that position. That's not something that you decide now at the start. Mind you, your actions now at the start, your ability now at the start of the season, will determine whether you get to even entertain disobeying such a team order of let Max Verstappen through to win the race. And really, I can't believe he said this, quite frankly. It must be a ruse. But but really, Checo, you gotta start getting some wins. You see? Don't even talk about, if I had the chance to win the championship. No. You get wins first. And you put yourself in position to possibly win the championship. But first you gotta get wins. Get the W's. Get the points. Finish ahead of your teammate. You gotta do all of that. You gotta do all of that. Or quite frankly, you're just talking spice to the media for all I know, to sell tickets for the next Grand Prix. You see, if you're really coming into it with the championship ambitions of your own, Perez, then you really got to do your talking out on circuit. You really got to do your talking out on circuit. And if your talking only amounts to being a very able wingman for Verstappen, then that's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be. Now, really, I would love Perez to deliver on the spicy preamble he's given you. I'd love it. Seriously, I'd love it. Put some heat on that boy Verstappen, because it's gonna be very easy for him at Red Bull. It's gonna be very easy. You had Ricciardo run from the fight, Gasly get blinded by the light. Someone's gonna say it's a spicy ass take, but yeah, Gasly did get blinded by the light in Red Bull, and Albon, happy to be there. Quite frankly, was happy to finish fourth. Oh, I won my race. He's finishing fourth behind Mercedes and Verstappen. So there's a real barometer that you've got to meet, Perez. There's a real bar here that you have to meet for you to be talking that loose in the media about how you're not gonna move over and let Verstappen win a race if you could win the championship. You got your order of operations backwards there, Checo. Because if you said, if I have the chance to win a race, and they're talking about championship for him, well, I want the stat. Then I would get it. There probably wouldn't even be a video. There probably wouldn't even be a video if that's what was said. But no, what's actually been said is Checo thinks he's gonna be in position to win a championship. And best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. I do, quite frankly, hope he can prove me wrong on my assessment of the situation and actually put himself in position to win a championship. Although, the smoking gun, in regards to current season, the smoking gun is that, well, Max already got ahead of you again. He suffered double retirements. You haven't gotten ahead of him. He suffered double retirements. He won the other two races, and just off the back of that, he's ahead of you. I mean, come on now. Come on, Checo. That's not viable. It's not a viable outcome for the spice that you put out in the media. It's a viable outcome for the spice Marco put out in the media. I'll tell you that, where he said they've got a clear number one. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have expected, with Helmut Marko being accurate on his assessment. That's exactly what I would have expected. But Checo, if you're putting out the spice about how you wouldn't move over to let him win championship, or to let Verstappen win a race if you could win championship, if you're talking that spice, then you got to put it together out on track. You got to. That Saudi Arabia Jeddah weekend, unacceptable. Oh, but the safety, unacceptable. If you have the fastest car over that weekend and it gets you pole, then quite frankly, I expect it to be driving past these guys. Does the safety car fucked you up? Who cares? Drive past them. Drive past them. Otherwise, don't even try get into the media with spice. Don't even try it. Because you do that and suddenly there's expectations on you to perform, and if you fail to perform, well, guess what? The media is gonna dogpile on you. And when the media dogpiles on you, pressure will multiply. Ask science about it. Ask science. Because by a lot of people's estimations, and probably by his own estimations, he's supposed to be challenging for a championship this season, and he's not going to. I would posit he won't ever in his career, but he's not going to. I mean, maybe he'll have a Felipe Massa type of challenge for the championship, but other than that, he's not. It's not for him. And Checo, this thing ain't for you. This thing ain't for you. Now I'm open to being proven wrong on that, and we'll just have to see what happens. Alright? So see you as the weekend unfolds. Peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! See, really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. No! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win, and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death, and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap, and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I bang in the east, and I banging in the west, and I come to give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, and you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we gotta go now, try to keep up with the pace. If we struggling and hustling and set it, and I get it, and we always gotta do it, take it to another place. Gotta taste it, and I gotta grab it, and I gotta cut all through